So I thought I'd shoot a very different style of video today. Usually I always have really highly edited videos with a lot of B-roll, a lot of pictures, a lot of video game footage. And that's something that I didn't want to do today on purpose, because I just wanted to have a little chat about life, the universe, and everything, and what's been kind of going on lately. And also just, video games in general, and where we're at, and how things are going. And yeah, it's amazing. It's just another Halloween has passed. And I want to talk about something kind of serious for a second, and that's Billy. Talking about Billy passing away. It's really had an effect on me, and it's really had an effect on a lot of people. And it's something that I don't think I'll ever get over, like a lot of other people, and especially Billy's family. And that was such a shock to us all. None of us saw that one coming. And to lose such a strong member of the community, just like that, is something that I can't wrap my head around, and I don't think I ever will wrap my head around. And I don't know, it's had an effect. And I think why it had such an effect is that if they can take Billy at 47 years old, they can take any of us. And it's really given me a different kind of perspective on life, and how quickly it can fade, and how short of a time we all have here, and how we should all try to appreciate each other a little bit more. I'm trying to do that. I'll say something. This is one of the things I want to say. Do this video. In this video is that yeah, I feel like I've really changed in the last 5 years. Obviously, there's a pandemic. Obviously, I had my daughter and all that. And obviously, I hit 50 years old, and I've just really been changing a lot, and it's been fascinating to see. And I want to go back to Billy for a second. Is that I watched the video that Jay put together with all of the YouTubers in there, and I looked at everybody, and I saw everybody, and I know everybody in the community. Some people we all get along with, some people we don't. Some people, there's all these different kinds of reactions we have as people to other people. And I gotta say something. When I watched that video, something profound, happened to me. I just let all animosity go that I've ever had for anybody. Like somebody rubs you the wrong way. Even if it's a small thing, I've let it all go. I just don't care anymore. I thought life is too short, and it's not singling out anybody in that video. It's not meant to. It was more of a generalization. That's the kind of the conclusion I kind of came to. That life's so short that I can't hold grudges, and especially into my 50s now, I'm letting all of that kind of stuff go. I really am. I don't want to be having weird things with people. I just don't care anymore. And especially when you hit your 50s, you just don't care anymore about that sort of thing. You just want to kind of get on with life and enjoy it. And especially in lieu of Billy passing, it's really made me realize how short of a time period we have here. And there's a squirrel at my feet. I will just turn this around. He's right over here. Yeah, he came right up to me. They're very friendly in this forest. I wish I had some bread for him or some nuts or something, but I don't. Let me just readjust my camera. But it's really made me kind of realize how beautiful life really is. And I've always known that. But lately, I don't know, Billy's death really had an effect on me. It really did. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those ones that can take such a strong member of our community. Yeah, and I've been doing my show for 17 years, an episode a week for 17 years. And that's something I've been reflecting on lately as well. I'm like, I can't believe I've been doing it for 17 years. And, it kind of hit me. I was thinking, well, how long am I going to go and do this for? How long will I go on for? Or will this be it? Will this be it? I don't know. I'm just going to head back in here. How long can I do the show for? I don't know. But the thing that I think has hit me lately is that one day the show will come to an end, and I don't know what will cause that. And it's really weird because my enthusiasm for video games and everything has only gotten stronger over time. And especially now that I can talk about it all the time on a show, it's something that I really appreciate, and it's something I really love. And I look forward to doing an episode of the show every week. It's a pure gift, and it's something that knock on wood, I'm knocking on a tree here, knock on wood, that hopefully I can do it for a few more years. And it's just been a pleasure over the last 17 years. And it's funny, when you start doing something, you know, you start a YouTube show or whatever it is, a podcast, or so you start making music or art or whatever it may be, you just don't know what direction that's going to lead you into. And I didn't really realize when I started my show the direction that it would lead me into. I didn't think I'd be here 17 years later, at 51 years old, still doing a YouTube show about video games. You don't think about things like that. And it's just one of those things that kind of clicked for me. And, you know, I do this show for the passion and the pleasure. You know, it's beyond money for me at this point. It's more like almost therapeutic, as what I'm doing right now is. It's very therapeutic. It keeps me, how do I just say this? There's a lot of construction over there. It keeps me focused, and I don't like that I don't get off track. You know, that I don't go, I don't know, drink too much alcohol or not that I have a problem with anything like that at all, I don't. But it keeps me focused and always gives me something to work on. And I really like that. I think everybody should have something that they like as much as I enjoy my show. I would pray for that for everybody, like that they could find a passion that could do that for them. But I mean, I almost feel like I stumbled into it by pure accident. You know, just 17 years ago, I'm like, yeah, I like the Angry Video Game Nerd. I want to make a show too, but I don't want to make it about games I hate. I want to make it about games I love. And so that's how it started. And I think it started with the right premise, you know, and so it was kind of like an honest premise. And so to continue on from there was very, very simple for me. But yeah, and we live in a time too. I know there's a lot of people who have a lot of problems with a lot of video games and things like that, and I definitely understand that. But I'm still into it for the pure pleasure. I still am, and I still love video games more than ever before. It's I don't know. It's a passion that's never stopped. And I was thinking about it with Dragon Quest, you know, 1 and 2 that's just been released, the remake of the great old game from 1986 and 1989. We got it, and it's weird because I bought Dragon Quest in 1989, and I didn't think I'd be like in the year 2025 playing a remake of that game, and the game would still have so much love, because when it first came out, it didn't have that much love. You know, not many people, everybody panned on it. People didn't really know what role-playing games were on an NES, a Nintendo Entertainment System. There's like, that was a weird thing. For me, I'd already been playing some games like that, and I really liked them. And so I loved Dragon Quest, Dragon Warrior back then. And it's so nice to see that they're still coming out. And I gotta say, I'm really excited about Dragon Quest 7 next year. I can't believe it, because that was one of the ones in the series that I didn't particularly love. And how I mean is I didn't like the character design so much. The music was very somber and very down. It was a long game. I just remember like at 130, 40 hours going, this is crazy how long this is going. And also when it came out originally, it was near the PS1 had been pushed to the max. And that they were still, you know, waiting to get like a Dragon Quest game on that machine. At the very end, it felt a little dated. I think that's what I want to say. It was a little dated when it came out, but I did like it. Never mind all that stuff. But it's never been one of the high ones for me. And so what's kind of fascinating is when they showed that remastered Dragon Quest VII, I know I say it on the show, but it hit that nostalgia in me that was so, I didn't even know was kind of there for that game. And that night, I was just listening to all of the soundtrack again, you know, like all the original PS1 music, and you know, on my YouTube list, and I was just like, oh my God. And I kind of went back in time about how much, you know, it's funny when certain video games come out in our lives, like at the time it can just be like, oh, I'm playing a game and I'm just doing it because that's what I do. And it's only, you throw in another 23 years, you know, later, and you look back and you're like, that was kind of an amazing time. Even though you look back at certain times in your life and you had no money and you're like, you know, things weren't always working out the best. In fact, I sometimes think that sometimes those are some of the best memories. Some of the best memories when, you know, you don't have that much money and you don't have that much, you know, going on, and you're trying to find yourself. I think there's something really beautiful about that. And sometimes those games are around at just those kind of moments and those kind of times. And yeah, so no, it's been really cool seeing Dragon Quest come back and seeing everybody really kind of rallying around it. And you know, what I'm really excited about was people getting to experience it for the first time. That is just amazing. Oh, here, I gotta show you this bench. Look at, yeah, geez, you think we're in fall? I don't know. That's crazy. That's funny. This is so after Halloween. It's interesting. I won't be sitting here. That is for sure. Flip back and yeah. But you know, it's really weird. I just wanted to come in and chat and just talk off the cuff. No fancy editing, none of that. And just talk about like life that way. And I gotta say that I've also changed in the fact that like, you know, like marrying the right person is such a big deal. It's such a big deal. And I hit the jackpot with Kim. I did. I hit the jackpot with Kim. I couldn't have, you know, started dating and marrying somebody who's so amazing and so incredible. And so, like, when marriage works, it works really well. And I think if marriage doesn't work, it doesn't, obviously it doesn't work well. But when it does work, God damn, you're thankful for it. And I'm just like, especially with Billy passing away as well, and thinking about him leaving a son behind. And I just sit and think my lucky stars about having Kim and having my daughter. And that's the other thing I want to say is having my daughter is the greatest thing that I have ever done or ever experienced in my life. I've flown all around the world. I've vacationed all over the place. I've played every video game. I've eaten every kind of food. I've kind of lived life that way, and it's been good. But nothing prepares you for when there's a you know, for me, a little myself and Kim there in front of us. And she's just so, you know, everybody says it about their own kids. I know they do. But she's just so amazing to me. I'm just in awe. Like, we're sitting there. There's the police are coming for me. They didn't like me that I was dissing Dragon Quest 7. The Dragon Quest police are coming. Oh my God, there's always a siren where I live. Every day. It's kind of crazy. And it's just gonna keep on coming. So, nothing I can do about it right now. As I said, I don't want to edit this video. I want it to be exactly the way it is. And, but yeah, no, like having my daughters just being, it's like we sat and watched Ghostbusters the other day. And it was so magical because she can really chat about things and really understands things a lot more now. And every day she's like leveling up even more and more, like getting way more of an understanding of like why she's here and stuff. You know what's really weird? You know, with this whole Sora 2 thing that's been going on, there's Kim, my daughter, and me, we were watching some YouTube and we were looking at these Sora videos. And I was telling my daughter, I said, this is not real. None of what you're watching is real. And she's watching all this stuff. And then she said something so profound and surreal. She goes, are we real? I'm like, yes, I think we are. But it was a little bit wild. And yeah, just seeing her, like she comes into, you know, the games room like the other day, and she gives me a picture. And I'm like, oh, what's this? And she's like, it's Minmay. And she drew Minmay from Macross for me. You know, one of my favorite, you know, animes of all time. I love that anime so much. And that she would actually take the time to think about me and draw one of the characters from it. And then she runs in the room, she's like, Daddy, is your favorite movie Blade Runner? And I'm like, yes. And it's just so weird that she's embracing all of the things that kind of, you know, I've been into. And it's cute. And the thing is, I've never pushed video games on her, nor would I ever. I want her to be the person that she wants to be, whatever that is, you know. She is taking piano right now, which is so cute, and she's doing really, really well at it. But it's so funny, and I'm not knocking anybody out there who calls himself a gamer dad or something like that. I look at myself as being a video game guy who plays games. I don't need to put dad beside it for myself. If you want to do that, that's cool. I'm not knocking you. But for me, I'm just a guy who plays video games, and you know, I don't really, I kind of actually want my daughter to go outside and experience life. I don't want to, maybe I've become that dad now. It's funny, don't sit inside and play video games all day. You'll rot your brain. I would never say that, but we spend a lot of time here. I take my daughter to the park a lot. We always feed the squirrels as one just runs by right now. And it's nice. I like doing all those things. For sure, but I was getting back to it. Very thankful, very, very thankful. I'm very thankful. Knock on wood. The same tree. It's the same tree. I think it is. That's crazy, but I'm very, very thankful for everything. And it's weird how you do change so slowly, and you don't see the big changes, and then all of a sudden you kind of look back and you're like for me, I'm not as edgy as I used to be. I used to have a much more edgier sense of humor, and sorry, like some truck is driving through the forest here, which is just really, really great. That's crazy. But yeah, I'm not as edgy as I used to be. I used to have a little bit more silver tongue. I used to, there's also something, I don't swear on the show anymore. I've become very conscious of not swearing on the show. I don't want to do that. I want everybody to come in. And actually that started because I went to a convention and I started meeting families that watch the show, and I was like, I can't be like swearing on the show. This is like ridiculous. And especially having my daughter, I don't swear at all around her. I don't even think she's heard the F-bomb. I don't think she's ever heard it. I've been very, very conscious not to talk like that in front of her. So yeah, I think I've changed quite a bit, and but slowly, and I think in your 50s is a certain time period where you kind of mellow out. I don't really care about drama. I don't really care about the one thing I will never do, and I've never talked about this, I will never argue online. I will never go onto Twitter or X or whatever and be like, I never do it. And you know why? Because it's the biggest effing waste of human time you could ever do. You're not going to change anybody's opinion most times. And it's just, I don't know, it's just aggravation on both sides. Everybody gets aggravated. And I don't really see anything that really comes from it. And, I remember here's a quick example. I remember in the year, God, it must be 2000, 2001, I was on this big video game forum. And I remember arguing with somebody about a video game or about something. Is that funny? Like 24 years ago. And I'm arguing when we're typing. And back then, this was the difference in like 2001. People were jumping on in, adding their 2 cents, saying, oh my God, you guys are arguing with each other online. You're typing into keyboards. Like, you're so silly, even though they're typing into keyboards, responding to that. It was just, you'd not done that before. Forums were kind of the beginning of all of that kind of stuff, where people would start like argue with each other, but it was weird. And people were like, oh yeah, and I remember going, oh yeah, that is really weird. I shouldn't be arguing online. That's odd. That's like, yeah, like it seems stupid. Like, what am I accomplishing by that? And so I quickly kind of stopped that. And so I kind of always held that up. I've never gone into big attacks online against anybody, because it's just such a waste of time. And I think I'd rather spend my time playing a video game or talking about a video game or having some fun, or spending time with my daughter, like just doing something worthwhile that way would be so much better. And it has been. And I've used my time wisely. People always like, oh, why do you play so many games, you do so many things, and even for Kim, it's because we just don't get involved in all that kinds of stuff. And you know what, and if you want to, I'm not saying not to. I'm just saying what I personally don't do. It's just one of those things I've never really enjoyed or gotten anything out of. And is there things that drive me crazy about the industry and about that? Oh, absolutely. But, to be honest with you, I'm always looking to, escape from that and to find a more fun way to spend my time. And also, the other thing is, look at this, I've got a gazebo over here. The other thing is, I want to create a place with the Happy Console Gamer Show where people can step away from all of that, whatever's going on in the world. And the world is crazy and wild and weird and nice and terrible. It's all those things. And what I wanted to do with the Happy Console Gamer Show is create a place where it doesn't matter what side of the spectrum you're on, everybody's invited. And we're just there to talk about video games and have a good time. And I'm not anybody to talk about politics. I'm not any good at it, and nor should I talk about it. I've always wanted a place where everybody can come and hang out and feel cool and whatever they want to feel on the show. And I think there's a really great community to do with the show, and I've always been really thankful for that. That's something that happened organically with, I don't know, the show really, I don't know, everybody I've ever met in real life, and I've met hundreds of people who watch the show, I could say even more, over the last 17 years, they've all been, I can't believe it. This actually, sorry, I gotta flip the camera around. I'm talking, and all of a sudden I see this stone woman, and I looked, and for a second, it kind of scared me for a second. I was like, what is going on with that? It kind of caught me off guard. It's a stone lady here. Actually, I bring my daughter here to see her all the time when we walk through, and she always like puts flowers on her and stuff like that. But that kind of caught me off guard. It was funny. What the heck was I talking about? But I don't know. You know, everybody that I've ever met who watches the show are such great people. They're so down to earth. They're so normal. They're so cool. And yeah, I get a lot of the older variety of people on the show, which I think is great. But it's been just nothing but a pleasure. Like, everybody is like so smart, and so everybody has their own story. And that's the thing I think I like the most about it. I love talking about video games, but I love talking about video games to people. So when I meet somebody, if I'm out and about, and I meet a lot of people who watch the show all the time, all over Vancouver, it's surprising how much it actually is these days. It's really, really surprising. And yeah, I love hearing their stories. I love hearing what games they're playing, how they're liking something. I love the conversation about video games. I love the conversation about video games. It's really, really fulfilling for me. And if I can talk about video games anytime, anywhere, I will do it. And so so I'm just saying, I've never met anybody who was weird on the show, you know, who watched the show. I've never met anybody who came up and was like confrontational or strange or anything like that. I probably would like that, but because I could handle it. But everybody's been so amazing and so nice, and you know, it was so nice to go to Pasadena and meet so many people who watch the show, and to go to Portland, and to go to Arizona the last couple of years. It's been so nice, and everybody's been so wonderful. And again, thankfulness. I have a lot of thankfulness. You know, I'm really grateful that people watch the show after so much time, and that I have a small cult audience, and that's what I call it. I think I had somebody like try to insult me maybe a couple of weeks ago, going, how does it feel, in one of the comments, how does it feel having a show, you've been doing a show for 17 years and you don't even have 1 million subscribers? And I think they were trying to like, obviously hurt my feelings. I'm just like, yeah, after 17 years being online, do you think that nothing's gonna hurt my feelings after a while? It's impossible. I've heard everything. But I kind of thought, you're missing the point, my friend. It's not just about gaining a lot of subscribers. It's about creating content and things that you enjoy, and sharing that, and people sharing with you. That's what it's about. And that kind of concept is not a big blockbuster concept. You know, I'm not a Mr. Beast, nor do I want to be. If I wanted to be, I'm sure I could probably do that, but that's not why I'm here. I don't want to do any of that kind of stuff. I just enjoy talking about games, and I look at my channel, I got like 80 million views. You know, I get, you know, when I put out a review, it does really pretty good. I'm very thankful for all of that. I've never one day ever said, damn, why don't I have 1 million subscribers? I don't even think about numbers that way. I think about the games, and I think about I hate using the word content, but you know, just the thought process behind everything. That's all very important to me. And yeah, it's a wonderful thing. Like, there's a guy with a leaf blower. Okay, here's something. The happy console gamer, he loves many things, right? The one thing he does not like is leaf blowers, because I'm not kidding you. Anytime I go to my like patio in the summertime and I'm like, I got my book and I got my tea and I'm ready. I'm like, I have a little snack, you know. I'm like, here's my moment. I sit down, there's a leaf blower every single time. And today I was like, I'm going to go to the forest and I'm going to walk around and there's a lot I want to talk about. And yeah, and we get the leaf blower. I've been walking away from him the whole time. I'm like, he's over there. He knows I'm over here. He's trying to get me. I swear, he's like, I'll sabotage him. I'll get him. Oh my gosh. So yeah, another Halloween in the books. That's the 16th Halloween for me. And another siren there. And yeah, 16 years with Kim for Halloween. That's what I want to say there. 16 years with Kim. We've shared 16 Halloweens together, which is just crazy. And yeah, all the sirens, we share all of those together as well. Oh, man, I tell you. But yeah, there's a lot of videos we're working on. There's a lot of stuff we're doing behind the scenes I'm always really excited about. And it's like, it's wild. It's coming up to another Christmas now. I know it's still a bit early, but we're coming up to another Christmas. And I tell you, the sirens here are crazy. But yeah, another Christmas, man. Another Christmas. This will be my 51st Christmas coming up. And hopefully I can get to a 52 or something, or a 53. As I say, after Billy, I'm so freaked out that I'm happy to have a single day. You know, I really am. Oh man, Billy, I can't get over it. I can't get over it. And you know, it's one of the best pieces of advice I ever got from anybody to do with death it was at my dad's funeral. And one of my friends was there. Not my friend Andrew, who's on the show. I have another great friend, Andrew, here. And God, you know, it's funny. The day I come out, there's just nothing but construction going on and everything. But he gave me the best piece of advice, because his father had died when he was in grade 6. So he lost his dad early. And so I'm there at my dad's funeral, and because I turned to him and I said, when do you get over this? Meaning, like, when do you get over the pain and all of that? And the best piece of advice he ever gave me was, he said, you don't. And I've always loved that advice. I've always loved that advice so very, very much, is that you don't get over somebody passing away. And nor should you. You should think about them, and you should always contemplate it, and you should really look for the meaning in their lives and how they had meaning in your life. And that's what I've been doing with Billy. It's pretty hard still, knowing that I'll never get to see Billy again, and I'll never, you know, not that his life, you know, is about making a Game Chaser episode. It wasn't. It was much more than that. But it's kind of sad that there'll never be another Game Chaser episode with Billy. It's one of those things, again, you take for granted. And I've been doing the show for 17 years, and I kind of, you know, you can take it for granted. And I think that's where I've changed, is that now I don't. And I've let all my animosity go, as I said as well. And I do feel at peace. I do. And I think I'll just end it there. I think I've talked for a long time. And how are you guys doing? How are things for you? How is your lives doing? You know, like, and I wish I could, I know it sounds really, and I'm not saying it to be cheesy or anything like that. I really wish I could meet every single one of you who watches this show. You know, one at a time. Because it's such a pleasure. It is, and I'd love to hear all about your stories and about, you know, your gaming memories. There's nothing I love more than hearing that kind of stuff. It's so great. It's so great. Anyways, guys, I know this is a very different style of video to do, and I'm just kind of walking around the forest talking, but I don't know. Therapeutic for me to talk sometimes and just kind of get some of this stuff out of me. And yeah, it's been an kind of a very unusual kind of year. Some unexpected twists and turns. And anyways, guys, until next time.